Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage? The good old WTD question mark here on my channel. The segment on this channel where I can unleash all of my sadness and anger and hatred and sorrow, all the negative emotions that come from the human psyche. Although today it's not going to be about me, different than all of the recent narcissistic videos where I've just been talking about myself over and over again. No, today's gonna be a little bit of a mixture of a history lesson with a, crime novel and a little bit of a real life mystery drama thriller of sorts, because today I'm going to be talking about the world famous Mona Lisa painting, which I'm pretty sure you guys know at this point, but just to recap, it was created, it was brought into existence by one of the most famous artists of all time, the Italian painter Leonardo da Vinci. And this painting here is believed to have been completed somewhere between 1503 and 1506, although Leonardo might have actually been working on it, well into that century, until 1517 more or less. It was actually given to King Louis the First of France. It was a gift from Leonardo to France. So a lot of people might not know that the Mona Lisa, although made by an Italian artist, was actually a gift to the French government, so it's a little controversial, the patriotism involved, as you guys are gonna see later, but it does belong now to France because it was put into the Louvre Museum in Paris, France for permanent restoration, permanent display, in 1797. And the thing with the Mona Lisa is that it is easily one of the most, if not the most famous, the most talked about, the most sung about, the most well-known and written about painting in history because of the enigmatic expression of the subject, and also just the atmospheric illusionism. There are so many other, factors that can actually make this painting stand out a little bit. Now, the thing is that it has been restored a lot over the years. The original painting was actually a lot darker. If you go to the Louvre today and take a look at it, you'll see that it's much brighter, but that's because of the restoration, over the years. It must be really hard to restore a painting like this, man, and just so intimidating. The subject modeling of the forms as well, just the monumentality of the composition itself. I don't know. The subject is actually this noblewoman who was called Lisa del Giocondo. I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name. And a lot of people, there's almost like this Mandela effect of sorts where they say that she is smiling in the painting, but actually she just has a very serious, monotonous expression, but some people swear she was smiling. Other replicas over the years depict her slightly smiling, but she wasn't, It's really crazy, man. It's a very, very interesting painting. And actually, it is one of the most expensive paintings in the world. And I think by itself, it actually has the world record in the Guinness World Record. It has the world record in the Guinness Book of World Records. My God, as the highest known painting insurance valuation in history, which as of 2023 is equivalent to about $1 billion. This is insane, man, and the price went up a bit because I already did this video before a few years ago and I'm redoing it now. And on that occasion, it was 870 million. Now it's up to $1 billion. Oh my God, man, that's freaking crazy. God. Wonder if you could have that painting and sell it to the highest bidder, you'd be rich, man. It'd be very similar to the San Jose galleon, shipwreck, imagine selling the Mona Lisa, although it might be kind of hard for you to run off with it, it's kind of difficult for you to steal something like the Mona Lisa and sell it to the highest bidder, although that's what happened once. And that is why you clicked on this video. That is why you came here, because of that very clickbaity title. The Mona Lisa was stolen? Yes, it was. That's right, guys. The Mona Lisa was actually stolen once upon a time, way back in 1911, specifically August 21st, 1911. And it was perpetrated by Vincenzo Perugia, who was actually an Italian museum worker and an artist himself who became a thief after he stole the Mona Lisa. There are quite a few details surrounding this, a lot of which involves the stupidity of people, law enforcement, and security and bystanders at the time, I'm going to read for you guys directly from the source here. I have a little play-by-play cheat sheet, let's say, because I could not memorize all of this. So I'm gonna be cheating a little bit here and reading directly from the source, right? So this was considered to be the greatest art theft in the 20th century. Remember, this is the Mona Lisa we're talking about. Even back then, she was already considered to be one of, if not the most famous painting in all of the planet, right? So here we go. Now, this is actually a well-formulated police theory because nobody actually knows how exactly it went down. This is coming directly from law enforcement, all right? So basically, it is said that he was actually inside of the museum. He knew that it was going to be closed the following day. So on Sunday, August 20th, he actually went inside and he hid in there. He entered the museum in the morning. Through the doorway, the other workers were entering. He wore one of the white smocks that they wore so he could blend in and pretend he was one of them, you know, which right off the bat, nobody recognizes their own coworkers. How would somebody new coming in just go right through? I don't know. But anyway, so now, where the Mona Lisa was hung was called the Saloon Carrere, and when it was empty, right, so he lifted the painting off of the 4 iron pegs that secured it to the wall and took it to a nearby service staircase, and then he took off the protective case and the frame, you know, pretty much just kept the original the original canvas where the painting actually was. Now, some people report that he actually concealed it under his smock, which is a little bigger than him, you know, but still, he wasn't that tall, so it wouldn't even fit. Doesn't even make sense for that to have happened, you know. He would definitely not fit. He would look really suspicious, so he probably just put it under his arm and went off, you know, like a freaking cartoon stealing a painting, right? So he actually took off his smock and wrapped it around the painting, tucked it under his arm, like I just said, and he went back. He went through the same door that he had come into, so he hid his painting in the apartment in Paris, you know, which is so stupid, man. He kept it hidden in a trunk in his apartment for 2 freaking years, and nobody even, it doesn't really, I can't grasp this concept, you know, because if I was this guy's roommate, I would have definitely ratted him out, you know. Maybe I'm just too much of a goody two-shoes, I don't know, Mr. Righteous, but I would not let him get away with it, even if I knew that there was a lot of money for me, you know. But still, how nobody noticed that it was missing, because I don't know how long it took for the museum to notice that it was gone. It definitely wasn't 2 years. There's no way that, like, you're going to see the Mona Lisa and there's just like a blank slate where the painting is supposed to be on the wall, you know. That doesn't make any sense to me, but still, man. So now he kept it there for some time in Florence, Italy, but he started to grow impatient, you know, so he actually contacted the owner of an art gallery in Florence. So now basically he wanted a reward for returning it back to his homeland. So remember the backstory. The Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci, who was from Italy. So in Vincenzo's mind, he was bringing the painting back to the homeland as if it was stolen from them in the first place, even though it was a gift. You know, Leonardo gave it as a gift to King Louis of France, you know, so there was no theft at all, you know. But apparently patriotism got involved, and people do stupid stuff when it comes to patriotism, you know. So, you know, eventually but it doesn't make sense. If he was actually returning it to the homeland, why would he want a reward for it? Why would he want money for bringing back something that was supposedly stolen? That doesn't make a lot of sense. But still, it was once it was recovered, you know, the police eventually went to arrest him, you know, and it was they took the painting for safekeeping or whatever, but it didn't really make any sense. It was eventually returned to the Louvre in 1913, but by then the damage was done. The painting was already famous before the theft, and it became even more so after it was stolen, you know, because there was so much notoriety, a lot of newspaper headlines, you know, the large-scale police investigation brought a lot of attention to it, so it actually ended up becoming even more famous than it already was, you know, and it gained a lot of public interest following that. I just think it was really dumb. Now, the motivations, there are a few theories, you know, like, for example, he was bringing it back, you know, to Italy because he thought that it was stolen, you know. Didn't really make a lot of sense, but then again, you know, he might not have known that Da Vinci gave it to King Louis, you know, as a gift, you know. Maybe he went to France to become a painter in his court, but maybe he wasn't aware, you know. This was during the 16th century, by the way, 250 years before Napoleon was even born, right? So I don't really know what his motivation was there, you know. But a lot of people have questioned the patriotism, you know, on the grounds that, you know, if he truly was motivated as a patriot, he might have donated the painting to a museum so it could be exhibited there instead of seeking cash, you know, instead of trying to profit from it. It didn't really make a lot of sense. He was just a no-good dirty thief, probably had nothing else to do with his time, right? So yeah, man, It was just really freaking crazy. So then he was put on trial, and they agreed to some extent that he did commit the crime for patriotic reasons, but I don't know, they gave him a pretty lenient sentence, but I still think it was really dumb, you know, but still, gotta do the crime, right? He went to jail for only 1 year and 15 days for stealing the most famous painting in the world, which is freaking insane. He was hailed as a great patriot and only served 7 months of that sentence, but semantics, right? Another theory emerged that maybe he was, that maybe the theft was encouraged by another con man, right? So he could make copies of it and sell them as the missing original. The copies would have gone up in value a lot if the original was stolen, which it actually was. So yeah, the theory was based on this article that was written, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense, you know. It's just so stupid, man. I still can't wrap my head around how a person can steal the damn Mona Lisa, dude. I mean, what the hell? You're not stealing a painting made by a YouTuber, you know. It's not a Bob Ross painting, man. It's the freaking Mona Lisa, and he got away with it for 2 years, man. I wouldn't even be able to steal a candy bar and get away with it for 2 seconds today. Imagine freaking I mean, there are a few silver linings to this story, right? I mean, for better or for worse, the theft itself garnered a lot of, you know, worldwide attention to the Mona Lisa, you know, a lot of publicity too, you know, especially in the entertainment medium, you know. Like, for example, there was an opera in 1915 called Mona Lisa, you know, which, you know, made it become even more infamous or famous, whatever, you know. Then in the early 30s, you know, in the silent film era, there were 2 movies, you know. There was The Theft of Mona Lisa in 1931 and also Arsène Lupin, you know, in 1932. So, you know, and then later on in the 1950s, there was a song released called Mona Lisa, which was by Nat King Cole, which became one of the most popular songs of the 50s, you know. So I mean, hey, even though I think it was actually released in 1949, but still, it went on to become popular in the 50s, so there you go. One of the things that most impresses me is that the medium of this painting was oil on poplar panel, you know, which does dry over time, of course, but still, how Vincenzo was able to put a smudge over that and transport it somewhere without it even smudging a little bit or staining it to some degree is nothing short of a miracle. He could have caused a lot of permanent damage to the original painting, man, you know, depending on how he... Go away, you stupid bug. Stop flying around my camera. He could have caused a lot of permanent damage that we would have still seen today, but still, I'm glad it didn't happen. You know, the painting has been digitally retouched as well, you know, to avoid the effects of aging, right? The original one, like I said, is much darker. You guys can look it up on Google. I was going to put in some photos here in this video, maybe a video or two, but all of the photos of the Mona Lisa that I could find on Google are all vertical, you know? It's hard to find something horizontal, and the same thing with the videos, you know? You guys already know what the damn thing looks like, and it's probably gonna be in the thumbnail anyway, so it's all good. This wasn't a concept vlog, you know, it was an informative one, but I just, you know, wanted to make it a little less complicated. But still, I really hope that you guys learned something new. You know, YouTube has this thing now, which is concepts, right? Which they are something that appear in the description of every video now, you know, which you can learn about the topic of the video without leaving the video. So maybe it's going to pop up here, you know. So make sure you guys always check the description of my videos, you know, for these concepts, you know, because a lot of stuff can show up. But still, it's crazy, man. How the hell somebody can, like, because if you really think about it, there is a lot of stupidity going on here, you know, because, okay, sure, Vincenzo might not have known that, you know, the Mona Lisa was a gift to the French, but still, how idiotic do you have to be to steal something so famous and valuable and bring it back to your home country and think you're gonna get away with it forever, you know? Or maybe he was just an idiot, he was just stupid, and the people, when he brought it back to Italy, there was this rejoice of the people, you know, who were celebrated that it was brought back to the homeland, you know. So I'm guessing that the Italians were also a bunch of dumbasses at the time, you know, because nobody knew that Da Vinci had given it to King Louis, man. I don't understand. You know, sure, people weren't as intelligent back then. Like, not everybody was, you know, a Galileo or frickin' Einstein or Socrates or Aristotle or whatever, but still, I mean, damn. I don't know, man. But, man, that's essentially how it worked, you know. There was the police investigation. Everybody was after this guy, you know. I'm glad he was eventually caught. Not much of a very exciting life afterwards, you know. He went to jail, served in the Italian army during World War I. But other than that, you know, nothing really too... Yes. Must have been really crazy for the police investigator who called up and investigated to authenticate the painting and found, wow, that actually is the real thing. What the hell are you doing with this thing, dude? But yeah, man, that's exactly how people talk back in the day. Dude and dude, what's up? Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up here, guys. I'm sorry if this video got a little less exciting, enthusiastic as my videos normally are. I've just been so tired lately, I just can't bring myself to create content, but I'm trying to come back, I've been going through some sadness lately, but I'm slowly starting to get back up on my feet, and I gotta produce the content here for you guys, so it's all good. If you guys happen to like this video, if you learned something new, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too so you can know exactly what time I upload, and it's all good. It's all good, man. This could only have been in What's the Damage, huh? Freaking art theft. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro scream.